Welcome back here on the Owls Media Network. Ryan Otterson, Carson Flake, joined alongside head coach Stephen Enright after a big, comeback style win, when it came down to it in the second half for the Owls. And coach, a very good start in the first half and then shaky start in the second half. What are your overall thoughts, on the comeback effort?
Yeah, I mean, I got to give credit to Dartmouth and the halftime adjustments they made. They completely kind of changed what they were doing offensively at halftime and pounding it inside, setting some ball screens. And the dribble drive stuff that they were doing in the first half, we had guarded pretty well. And a little bit of us just getting too comfortable. We got a 14-point lead, and we just didn't have the same pop on the ball, with our pushaways on the three-point line. And we got to be better defensively, certainly, than we were there. But at the end of the day, we're down 8, 6:43. None of us panicked, which I hope people saw. I didn't panic. Our players didn't panic. Opted to hold on to our timeouts until late. And we were able to get key defensive stops. I mean, the play of the game for me was, all right, Mitch Shettles makes the 2, to, I think put us ahead there.
Yeah.
And or extend it a little, whatever it was. And then the play comes down, and there's a key defensive rebound, down on the other end, and we're not in great position to get it. He comes and wrestles it away from Flauto and then draws the foul. So it was just exceptional senior play by him. And then obviously we were putting the ball in Leo Chaikin's hands the whole last 5 minutes of the game, isolating him in the low post and, putting him in the ball screens, and he delivered every single time. He either scored it or got fouled, every single time he had an opportunity. So at the end of the day, those two guys carried us. Wish our post defense was better. We probably maybe should have looked at doubling a little bit, but Dartmouth just has so much shooting that, you worry about that. And again, we've got big guys that should be able to guard him a little better than they did tonight. So, we got, these two sophomore bigs, hopefully they learn from it and get better, because we're going to see Dartmouth again, and, it's going to be a key game when we do.
Yeah, you mentioned Flauto and how, much of a presence he was, 24 points, but a lot of those coming from the post. Yeah. What adjustment did you feel like you made, or maybe the team made in general, to just kind of isolate him the last 6 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, we were – his catches were too easy, which was the whole game plan there. But, it's not all on the bigs. About 7-8 minutes to go in the game, we put Josh in there, and we just decided we were going to really pressure the ball and try to disrupt their cadence a little bit. And so when we had more pressure on the ball, it became more difficult for them to throw it in the low post. So, that helped us. But, for the first 10 minutes of the second half, it was like men's league, man. It was like dribble down, throw it in. It was horrible. So, we got to watch the film and get better from it. But proud of our guys for sticking together. And obviously we've been in, a lot of close games lately. And have been in a lot of close games all year. And we're starting to, knock on wood, perform better in those moments as we get more comfortable doing it. A little disappointed in our side-out execution on the timeout there like that. Jordan missed the shot at the rim. That was not executed how we drew it. A couple other plays were, so we did, we did get some good stuff out of timeouts. But, all in all, 16 turnovers is not good, after having 7 at Middlebury. So, again, we just got to put it all together and peak at the right time. This team has such a spectrum where when it's clicking, I think we can beat anybody. But we also have a tendency to self-sabotage, so we just got to keep getting better. And now we're on the back 9 of conference play, so we'll hopefully throw a good punch on Saturday at Boston.
Sure.
Coach, you just talked about a little bit about the self-sabotage, and I think, at one point in that second half, the wind was kind of out of the sails for the team, but earlier on in the season, you might not see this team kind of come back, and get themselves on a roll again. What's that say for the team's resilience, as they've developed throughout this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a resilient group. I mean, this group is it's been through a lot in a couple months, in the sense that, I was looking at the metrics. Our non-conference strength of schedule is 11th in the country. Our overall strength of schedule is 18th in the country. We played 5 of the 9 non-conference games we played have been on the road. And the league is better this year than it was last year. These teams are better, and last year the league was weaker. The year before that it was really weak, so some of these guys that have been here for a little bit are learning that, hey, the league's gotten better. People are catching us. We're not just automatically going to win. And, At the end of the day, it's like it's the human nature aspect of, hey, you've gotten used to winning, you've taken that for granted a little bit. We obviously graduated a monster cohort of players, you know. Yeah. We have new and young talent here that's going to be the next wave of guys, and we're confident in that. But there's a process that you have to undergo, you know. And so, you know, like you hear from people, it's like, oh, you know, how you lose 3 conference games, whatever. Like, you know, like it's hard. Winning's hard, you know. So you got to dig in, you got to get better, and you got to throw, you know, punches day by day. And I think that, you know, and I've always thought this about this group. I knew they were going to go through some things. You know, it's not hard to see that they have gone through some things. But if we peak at the right time, I think we can beat anybody when it matters, and that's what we're driving towards, and that's what we're developing towards every day.
Yeah, Coach, one more question that I have for you. You know, looking ahead to the next game, you know, you lost earlier this year to UMass-Boston. Yeah. What are you expecting from this team, you know, in UMass-Boston, and what do you expect from your guys going into this game?
I mean, Boston feels great about themselves right now. You know, like they're beating people and beating people convincingly. They've got 1 loss, and it was by a lot to WestCon, kind of in a one-off. You know, I don't want to call that a fluke, you know, because WestCon's a really good team, but you know, I don't think they were getting expected to be 30-piece in that game, certainly, and it happened. You know, so I think Boston's super confident, and I think our guys are super angry about what happened in the first game against Boston. So I think it's going to be a tremendous game on Saturday, and we're looking forward to taking a crack at it and hopefully getting a monster road win while we're down there.
Fantastic. Well, best of luck in that one, and appreciate your time, Coach.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
The Owls Media Network is brought to you by Engelberth Construction, located at 428 Main Street in Keene. They build relationships for life. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Owls Media Network, powered by Flow Sports. Keene State gets a big comeback win, 88-83 here at Spalding Gymnasium. They will be back in action against UMass-Boston very, very soon, later this week. We appreciate you tuning in, and for Ryan Otterson, Ryan Hearn, Allie Kenyon, and everyone else on the Owls Media Network crew, we hope you have a great night. I'm Carson Flake, signing out. Jakin. Shettles now thinks about the 3 instead. A pull-up 12-footer. That'll go. Why not? And out to Shettles. Shettles pump fakes the 3. Pull-up jumper. It's good! Mitch Shettles. Big-time plays from a big-time player right there.
You have been watching a Keene State Athletics broadcast on the Owls Media Network. Please tune in to our next broadcast, and thank you for watching.